Right, folks, welcome to the zone. Today we are discussing the last minute victory by Manchester United versus Villarreal. It was United 2, Villarreal 1. As always, I tried to break the game down in how I saw it at the time and how I think about it after it happened. So the game's literally just finished. So post-match reaction kind of breakdown. The overriding feeling is we got away with it. Like, we really got away with that one. And the overriding feeling is that ain't sustainable. But obviously, I'm really, really happy we won. And, you know, you can analyze everything until the sun comes up. But the end result is we won against a team that, frankly, like I said, they've put a strong side out. We've put a relatively strong side out with, let's be honest, a completely makeshift back four. We have lost, or should I say Ole has lost 7 out of 11 Champions League games, and Villarreal, I think, have not lost all season. So this is not an easy game. Any game in the Champions League is not easy. I don't care if you are playing a, quote, bad team or whatever. It's not easy, and we've won. So you can look at it like great determination, great resilience. Ole picked a selection, made the good subs, and we won. Happy days. Or you can look at it another way. You can look at it like, if we play like that 50 times a season, you're not winning 50 games. You're probably going to win 20 games, right? There's too much going on. So these are the notes that I wrote down whilst I was watching the match. And let me know in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment what you thought. So Ronaldo comes up all-time appearances, so it's the most appearances in the Champions League. Really good atmosphere. We had an electric start, clean passing, good crowd intensity, everything, and the early press for the first 3 to 4 minutes really worked. They were quite shaky. They were kicking the ball out. It was going very, very well. I'll move my notes here. And I've put that we were hit by this brutal counter-attack down the left. We're kind of risking it with one DM, which everyone has asked for. And with the fullback so high, you know, what do you call it? If you have your fullback so high, you're obviously going to get counter-attacked on. You have, obviously, he's put Sancho out on the left, Mason Greenwood out on the right. So the question is, if Rashford comes back, what happens to Mason Greenwood? Does Rashford go on the right? Does Sancho go on the right? Does Greenwood go on the left? Where does everyone go? I presume it's going to be Rashford left, Sancho right. So then do you bench Greenwood? Because I think Greenwood's probably been our best player. Although I will say this game and last game wasn't his best, let's be honest. So basically what ended up happening was they were going down the right-hand side all the time. I felt like Dalot was kind of coming in field and crossing. He'd obviously been instructed to cross a shit ton because we didn't do any crosses recently. So we're finding crosses, and because he's so inwards and he's not like overlapping and he's not like high up the pitch, he's kind of like, he's almost like right midfield, kind of just tucked in. Every single time they got the ball or it was a bad cross or anything, yeah, they just pinged it on the outside of him, and we were relentlessly basically punished down that right-hand side, and De Gea was playing brilliantly. De Gea was making save after save, and I've written down here that even if De Gea was to let in 5 goals after that first half, it wouldn't have even mattered really, because pretty much he, you're not expected, are you, to make, you know, 4 or 5 really world-class saves. You know, they're meant to be like, wow, he's pulled that off. They're not meant to be expected. So De Gea was truly back to his best, and I've been his biggest critic because for quite a couple of years, he's really, I don't think, been good enough, and I think I've rightly criticised him. We've all questioned, can he come back? And he can, and that's all you can say. There's nothing better than an informed De Gea, is there? So he was playing really, really good, really good. And again, if he saves those first 4 or 5 shots like he did and then goes on to let in 5 goals, you can't say anything because you're not meant to make that many saves. Your keeper isn't meant to be that busy. So Sancho was growing into the game, and there was so many mistakes by Dalot, kind of positionally. Even Varane, completely flustered one, and we were so lucky to not be punished. In fact, I've written down here that it was pretty much 45 minutes of miracle hit and hope ball into miracle finish, which is clearly not going to work. But that's what Ole wants. Ole wants that miracle counter-attack and finish. And we were relying on one-on-one defending and saves. And Villarreal came off the pitch and they actually looked upset. They straight up looked upset that they weren't winning. So I think that says it all. It was pretty honestly embarrassing first half. So we come out, there's no change, and so obviously that tells me he's happy or he's instructed something to be a bit different. Well, we came out and it was exactly the same. Dalot, super tucked in, Tellez not really offering much, and the game plays out exactly the same as the half ended, but this time they took their chance and they scored. It's completely expected. Like when we went 1-0 down, I was just like, well, this is obviously going to happen eventually. You can't just keep asking defenders to do one-on-one defending and keepers to make brilliant saves. So it goes in, and I was just like, wow. So our solo defensive midfielder is Scott McTominay. I prefer one DM and getting everyone like Pogba. Pogba was much further forward and more involved. And I think if you played with this system enough, you'd get used to it, and you'd get used to how to, okay, we've got the ball, how do we move? And then we need to defend, how do we drop back? Whereas when you play with two DMs, it's just so rigid. So I think if you gave the system more time, it would work. But I'm now going to think Ole is going to be like, that was way too open. I'm going back to two defensive midfielders. But you can't expect it to be perfect on the first game. Game carries on. I thought Villarreal could sense that, hey, well, let's go 2-0 up here. They brought on a striker and some other people. And it was just like, God, we're not doing anything. And then a complete miracle goal happens, which I think is what Ole wants. Ole wants as many good players on the pitch to let them, quote, create something out of nothing. And Bruno delivers the free kick. The guy was in space, but he pings it across to Tellez, who volleys it in, you know, like the Paul Scholes volley edge of the box. But the thing is, as much as I absolutely loved that goal, and it was a banging goal, that you can't rely on those types of goals, can you, for the remainder of the season? Like, you ain't going to win a title and a cup praying that you do that goal. There needs to be an actual pattern of play. But it's 1-1, and we began to look leggy, and it was like the 70th minute. We still had made no subs. And I was thinking, oh, just don't give Cavani 9 minutes again, man. Like, he deserves more than 9 minutes. Matic came on, and this is kind of what he ended up doing. He ended up bringing on Cavani, Matic, and Fred. And I'm like, now he's trying to control the game. I'm like, what we should do is we should be controlling the game from the beginning, so we're not 1-0 down. So he tries to control the game, and Lingard comes on, and Cavani comes on. And it was just like a bit of a mismatch, and it felt like he didn't really know what his style was. He was kind of winging it. That's honestly what it felt like. Then we had like these heroics of us clearing the ball off the line, and I was like, if anyone's winning it, it's them. But I will say, I think the difference literally was Cavani. I know Lingard and Ronaldo got the assistant goal, but Cavani came on and he didn't, you know, like he didn't do Martial and stand in the box and go, oh, I hope this ball comes to me. I'm going to come short. The guy like did this unreal press where everyone had given up on the ball, and he came like from almost like the other side of the pitch, kept the ball in, got the whole crowd going, and did this twice. Really pressed and won the ball, and it got everyone up. And then we carry on like that. We have a little bit more possession because we've got Matic on, who is much better on the ball than McTominay. He just is. Shame he's not 5 years younger. And then last minute, when you're just thinking it's petering out into nothing's happening, Cavani kind of wins the ball. Fred pings it across into space. Nice cross by him. Nice header down by Ronaldo. Leaps up, wins the ball, and then Lingard kind of just taps it, kind of just passes it back. And yeah, you can say, oh, it's another Ronaldo goal. What's the word? He's shot it at the keeper. The keeper should have saved it, and it's gone in. But the thing is, if you're not shooting on target, and it's not hit hard enough, and it's not, you know, what's the word? Yeah, if it's not a clean strike, he will save it. The thing is, he makes the keeper make the save, and that's why he obviously has so many goals. But this is where it was good, because Cavani obviously presses a shit ton, and I didn't think Mason Greenwood was that great. I think Cavani and Ronaldo should play together. I just think they're both too good to not have on the pitch. Like, even if you have to play some weird 4-4-2 or something, like, I just feel like those two players are too good not to have on the pitch. Like, how good was he last year, Cavani? And Lingard, you know, he obviously against young boys fucked up and gave the goal away, and since then played really well, played well in the cup as well, and score the winner against West Ham, which obviously is like big mentality. And then this one, he does an energy and he gets the assist. Like, the guy's good. He's good. He's an actual viable option. So you gotta say that's a good job, because, you know, I've critiqued him. Pretty sure everyone has. I don't think he's good enough, but he's playing himself into massive form and he deserves to play. So I'm thinking like Lingard and Cavani should be on the pitch. And I think as well, I also haven't really mentioned it, I think Sancho looked a lot brighter. Like he was growing into the game a lot. Not sure what's going to happen when Rashford comes back, but I just think Cavani has to be on the pitch, or Lingard. One of those two works. I think Lingard's better as the sub. There's less pressure on him, but I think like Cavani just got to play, man. So yeah, obviously brilliant by Ronaldo. 95th minute winner, Champions League. What more can you say? But if you look at it like brutally, you're like, I don't know if that's sustainable. That was a pretty lucky win. We could have been 4-0 down and having a completely different evening. But, you know, he's done it, hasn't he? He's won. I think we're third in the group. We now have a viable chance of getting out of the group. But man, we held on. You can say you make your own luck. We've got the good keeper. We've got the good defenders. We've got Ronaldo to score those big chances. So you could say the strategy worked, or you could be like, that was damn lucky. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Hey, we go out with a win.